What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Cameron and this is the So Well Garage. So in today's episode of Let's Build a Turbo Taco, we have a lot of exciting stuff going on. So first things first, got the starter wired up in the last video. You guys saw that. Got everything bolted in, transmission, clutch, all that stuff's been taken care of. And so the last thing that we were waiting on was electrical stuff, connectors and things like that. And I'm missing a few, but those are not vital to actually getting this thing running, or at least test fired. And we are going to do that in this video. By the end of this video, we will have a running 2JZ swapped Toyota Tacoma. I'm gonna go ahead, lay out most of the wiring and everything else that's gonna go into that, and finish off everything we need to. The intake needs to be bolted down for the last time. As you can see, it's just kind of hanging out there in the engine bay. So intake runners, throttle body, finish the clamps on some of the intercooler piping and stuff like that. We still have to make an intake for our turbo, but anyways, let's go ahead and finish off the wiring and then go from there. So I know things look like an absolute disaster in this engine bay, but we're actually getting somewhere. As you guys saw, we could crank. Battery's a little weak, but that's fine. As soon as I hooked up the jump pack, it cranked over a lot better. Obviously still not where we need it to be, but we'll figure out the battery situation later. I'm just really happy that like all this testing is going good. As you guys saw, we had 12 volts on our coils and our fuel injectors whenever the key was turned on, which is fantastic. And I think pretty much all I need left to do is wire up some stuff in the interior, because of course the Haltech's gonna need a switch 12 volts and some other stuff like that. Yeah, it looks like a disaster, but we're getting somewhere and we will get this thing running in this video. So I think that's gonna be it for tonight, so I'll catch you guys tomorrow. So first test fire did not go all that well. Not exactly sure what the issue is. We continue to get like a trigger error, but I've double, triple checked all the wiring, double checked our timing. Everything's good, so I'm not exactly sure what the issue is. So I need to go through my wiring diagram and figure out if I wired something wrong or whatever it is. But yeah, we're just gonna continue to look at some things and try to figure out what in the world is going on. Error 3 and 4 trigger, system errors 3 and 4. No home error. Wait a minute, what? So I think I found out what the actual issue was and why we weren't able to idle or stay running at all. So I started looking through some stuff, and I noticed that we weren't really getting like adequate fuel pressure. Something wasn't quite right. Whenever you would turn the key on to the accessories position, your fuel pump and everything should kick on in order to pressurize your fuel system. So went through, and Toyota for some reason has your starter relay, your EFI relay, all these other relays that actually control your starting sequence, right? And then bam, you have this circuit opening relay for the fuel pump. So I went through and found the blue wire for our circuit opening relay, and then I went ahead and crossed that over straight to our ignition on. So whenever we turn the key, we actually get positive fuel pressure, 42 pounds on fuel pressure regulator. So let's go ahead and see what we get. It just needed time to prime the...
So loud.
Yeah, it's ridiculously loud. Let's go. Alright guys, well, I mean, that's pretty much going to do it for this episode of Let's Build a Turbo Taco. We officially have a running 2JZ in our 1999 Toyota Tacoma, and it's crazy to think about everything that we had to do to get here. There were quite a few stumbles and just all kinds of stuff, but like we're finally here. We're actually here. There's still quite a bit of stuff and still quite a bit of work that needs to get done on this. You guys might have also noticed that there was like a little bit of chatter going on with the 2JZ idling. That is not bottom end noise. The lever for the clutch is like resting up against it because I don't have the slave cylinder on it, so it's not like actually keeping it on contact with the pressure plate. It's just kind of like bouncing back and forth, and I can see there's like a groove on the pressure plate where that, or not a groove, but like where it scraped the paint. So that's all that is. Unfortunately, the factory Tacoma clutch slave cylinder will not work on this. It's like angled just weirdly enough that like it could, but it's the bleeder port is like actually pressing up against the block of the engine, so that's just not really going to work on that. yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it for this episode, guys. I'm beyond excited and stoked that like we have a running 2JZ Tacoma. It's not driving, it's running. I made you guys that promise that we would have a running 2JZ Tacoma, but I did not say driving. So hopefully that will be the next episode, guys, is getting to drive this thing around. I really appreciate everybody watching and getting us to where this channel is right now. It's not huge by any means, but I couldn't do it without you guys. So thank you so very much. I will see you in the next one.